Our next speaker for the day is someone who has worked at great speed with machines that move at even greater speeds. Sudhanshu Mani retired from the Indian Railway Service of Mechanical Engineering as General Manager, Integral Coach Factory. He was based in Chennai and he served there for 38 years. He also served as Railway Advisor in the Embassy of India, Berlin for 3 years. He interacted with railway systems in Europe and other advanced countries on behalf of the Indian Railways. He is a fellow of Institute of Mechanical Engineers, London. He is the one who has led the Train 18 Vande Bharat Express project, the first ever indigenous high-speed train of India from concept to delivery. His journey in leading and completing the unique Train 18 project is recounted in his bestseller book, My Train 18 Story. He has authored more than 6 books, including 4 on a subject of his personal passion, art and railways, 1 each on environment and greenery, and a collation of works of Ghalib and Shakespeare. हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले, और अब हमारी ख्वाहिश ये है कि सुधांशु जी इस मैदान अमल पे आएं और हमारी ऑडियंस को अपनी कहानी अपनी जुबानी खुद बताएं. Big round of applause, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to Mrs. Khuzaima Mama, Prashant and Tejas, I'm here to talk to you about Train 18 Vande Bharat Express, and hopefully this will help you or help us help you print more tickets for the Vande Bharat Express. And also very grateful for this opportunity because I was able to meet a friend of mine, Rajiv Bhargav, your fellow printer, after 47 years. Rajiv. So I'm not going to be funnier than I already am. I'm not going to lie. I'm not nervous. And sorry, Mr. Carnegie, I'm absolutely certain I'll be able to speak what I wish to speak. I'll begin with what the People's President once said, that dream is not the thing that you see in sleep, but is that thing that doesn't let you sleep. In Merchant of Venice, Portia says that if to do were as easy as to know what were good to do, chapels had been churches and poor man's cottages, princesses' palaces. Similarly, if to do were as easy as to speak, ... So I wish to speak only whatever little I with my team was able to do. Proof of the pudding, 1,000th deja vu for me because I'm usually called to speak about the train, but maybe some takeaways for you, diverse professions that we come from, notwithstanding. Indian Railways in India, you can hardly ignore, love it or hate it. I'm not a great speaker, but I borrow a lot from wisdom down the ages, my poet uncles as I call them. Poet Kabir, my English uncle Shakespeare, and my Delhi uncle Ghalib. There is a time regime, so I cannot go long and winding, but remember, I'm a railwayman for life, so I have an inherent right to be derailed. You cannot teach an old dog new tricks, so my quasi-sarkari presentation, same tannin body, tarwa, but perhaps a rosé for you. Atmanirbhar started with Make in India by this government to make India factory of the world, and then COVID, and they thought that these lions of India would roar into self-reliance. But have we seen those roars? Purrs, maybe. There are things which you see in red, which I don't understand, so I won't talk about. I will only talk about the spirit of Atmanirbharta, and that is the spirit of doing things with pride and ownership, because that's what makes you do 120% above what you are capable of otherwise. You know what innovation is? Mr. Lele also talked about it, technology, basically an ecosystem where it encourages it, an idea to concept to technology, as I said, with pride and ownership. In railways, we have been used with what is called transfer of technology, which I think is an oxymoron. You get something from a multinational large company with all transfer of documents, drawings, all protocols, but you still are not able to make it to the standard you imported. And why? That's because, again going to Mr. Lele, mindlessly global or hopelessly local. Why not mindfully local? Because technology is a creation which lives in the mind and the heart of the creator. There is no way to transfer that. Firaq Gorakhpuri, mere sher aina khane mein teri beshumar adaon ke. I can go poetic about your beauty, magar aisi bhi hai koi ada jo rahegi seenae raaz mein. There is some part of your elegance which will remain buried in my heart. You won't have access to it. As far as possible, unless the gap is very large, create your own. And that brings us to be this great question, to do anything, anywhere, what do you need? No time to ask you, but I know you will answer this, but I think there is something even more important, and that is to be fortunate enough, build that fortune to love what you do. Love your colleagues all around you, love your organization. Because human resource is the biggest resource that you have. You're not going anywhere unless they are with you. As a leader and as a human being, it's not possible to love everyone. So you have to contrive and manufacture it. And once you make it a habit, it's not difficult to love everyone. Jigar Moradabadi. एक लफ्ज़ मोहब्बत का अदना ये फसाना है. This word love has a very brief story. एक लफ्ज़ मोहब्बत का अदना ये फसाना है, सिमटे तो दिले आशिक, अब फैले तो ज़माना है. My message very simple, very universal, is love whatever you do. Scramble for that window seat as the marvel and the magic of India would pass you by. Desolate, crowded, indolent, sloth, hard work, labor, grind, celebration, mourning, pathos, joy. And you saw that microcosm of India. Destination was immaterial, but journey became the objective. As you peeped back from an open window, open door, which you still have on our trains, and the snaking train behind you gave you goosebumps, and it gives you goosebumps even today, even if you don't travel. A great leveler where the richest and the poorest stand next to each other to catch the same train. In Tempest, Antonio says, travelers never did lie. Fools at home condemn them. I dare say, if you cannot see this marvel of Indian Railways from the window of an Indian Railways train, then perhaps you are a prisoner of your own confines and conflicts. डालती बेहिस चट्टानों पे हिकारत की नजर, को पे हंसती हुई फलक को आंख दिखलाती हुई, दामने तारीकी ये शब की उड़ाती धज्जियां, कसर जुल्मत शब पे मुसलसल तीर बरसाती हुई, अलगरस चली जाती है बेखौफ व खफर, शायर आतिश नफस का खून खौलाती हुई. तो ये तो भारतीय रेल, so it was so easy to love it, but it's not difficult for any of you. Nindra Nui became so big selling Pepsi Cola, she obviously loved it. But I'm not here to talk to you about this romance. I'm here to talk to you about this. Why is it that our trains have the same recall? The color might have changed from red to blue, more AC coaches, some German technology, but the recall is exactly what you see on the left. Why not a more modern, speedier, aesthetically superior train in India? एक जैसे लग रहे हैं सभी चेहरे मुझे, होश की ये इंतहा है या मैं नशे में हूं. This was the question which bothered me even before I joined railways and all through my service. You have to look beyond love, because change is truly permanent, the only thing which is permanent. When I got last posting before retirement, In government service, all donkeys and horses move in the same line. So this donkey came to be posted as a general manager. I chose to be posted in Integral Coach Factory because it was vacant. Otherwise, people usually want to go to a zone which is like a fiefdom. Set up in 1950s as a factory to make coaches of current technology. It's been doing more of the same, no variety, not much variety, not new technology. In 50s, Chow and Lai had come to ICF and written in the visitors book that this is a place all Orient should be proud of. And I want Chinese engineers to come and learn how to make coaches from them. And where are we now? We make a beeline to go to China to learn from them in practically every aspect of technology. I made a table to see. I was invited to speak as a government CEO. I didn't understand what a CEO is, so made this table for myself, even as I joined and found this government had given this empowerment for you to paint the canvas with a palette of colors in the hues and shades that you wanted, and forget that you are a Sarkari gentleman. Of course, my uncle has said that what's in a name, a rose would smell as sweet or as rotten. और one would also say that ये power over से क्या होता है, हमको मालूम है जन्नत की हकीकत लेकिन दिल के खुश रखने को ख्याल अच्छा है. But the other way was to really look at this empowerment and use it. I'll not go into these examples, but this was nothing but in a feudal organization to break the protocol of propriety, hierarchy, and protocol. Just go and mix with people, which was never done. 12,000 employees, 10,000 crore enterprise, GMs would come and go. Ordinary worker would not even know the name, let alone the face of the GM. I would go, because I was told not to interfere with production, just go and meet 500,000 people in a day and hug them. Ask them a simple question, what's your, any problem? The answer, surprisingly, 99.5% of the time, no problem, sir. एक बार पार्लियामेंट में राहुल गांधी जी जाके मोदी जी के गले लग गए थे, आप लोगों ने देखा होगा. तो मोदी जी ने कहा था कि आज पता चला कि गले लगने और गले पड़ने में क्या फर्क होता है. तो मैं जाके गले पड़ जाता था. बट वो जो ब्रिज बिल्डअप हुआ ना, देन देयर इज दिस गवर्नमेंट में ये पॉलिटिशियंस से सीख के ब्यूरोक्रेट्स लाइक टू इनॉग्रेट थिंग्स एंड पुट देयर नेम ऑन दैट स्टोन, thinking they would be immortalized. First thing I said, count them in 1950s. Politicians छोड़ के कितने ऐसे प्लाक हैं, चेयरमैन रेलवे बोर्ड से लेके जीएम तक 150-200 प्लाक थे, कोई 170 के करीब. मैंने कहा उखाड़ के extract them, throw them out in the dust. That's where they belong. Every inauguration, every launch that we do, and we did 500 plus because we were spending money, we had money, will be done by the senior most staff of that area. Person who has given blood, sweat and tears to that area. He would come with his son, with his daughters, with his wife, with his spouse, with his parents, stand next to it. And he will carry this memory all his life. He still has 20-25 years of life left before retirement. That bridges were built in, I will not go into all these examples. There were, if I had time, I would have, but it all was simple matter of empathy, which we forget, especially in a government organization. I had one simple example again, some 26 lakhs of entertainment fund, which was used by GMs to network with the high and mighty of the city. But what did it give to the organization? Zilch. I said, okay, is there anything written that I can't spend it on my people? Sir, ab likha to nahi aisa kuch. I said, okay, I'll throw parties, but I'll throw parties for my staff, my officers, everyone who had never been inside a GM bungalow with these high walls and so on. Again, a matter of just building bridges with them. One caveat, 20% to 30% are so motivated, all they need is a pat on the back. There are others watching. For those 2% who would not work, with them, no love is going to work. As my uncle has said, don't waste your love on somebody who doesn't value it. And nothing emboldens sins so much as if I can add misplaced mercy. To those 2%, you have to show your fangs and throw them out. There's no other punishment in life. Either you counsel and retain as a excited team member, or you throw him out. You can't punish somebody and keep him with you. Kshama shobhati us bhujang ko jiske paas garal ho. Garal means poison. Bhujang, snake. क्षमा शोभती उस भुजंग को जिसके पास गरल हो, उसका क्या जो दंतहीन विषरहित विनीत सरल हो. You have to show your fangs at times. Love is fine, but this is also important. Another thing that is forced down is ideation in government. Idea cannot be forced down. Idea has to come from bottom. Most of the things that I have been able to do in my life, ladies and gentlemen, believe me, has come from people below me, not from people above me. And the only way to do is to encourage it, give everyone a platform. Every man has ideas. You may not implement it, but you must listen to everyone. अगर शरर है तो खिले जो फूल है, अगर शरर है तो भड़के, जो फूल है तो खिले, तरह तरह की तलब तेरे रंगे लब से है. Remember that, please. And so we were able to take the production to new heights by reducing manpower, not increasing it. We always tend to ask more men. Remember how many percentage of your people actually deliver how much percentage, and you would know it is always better to excite those who deliver more. Never ask for more men. Always reduce your men. We were able to become the only carbon negative factory in the world, but I'll not go into the details here. I will, however, stop at this for a minute, because this is not about lip service. Treating women with respect is not a lip service that we have to do, but actually show it in action. We threw out in a day 4 cases of sexual harassment where I said no inquiry, no deposition. Don't want to subject the lady employee to any inquiry and let her relive that trauma again. All I need to know is that the complaint is genuine. Then such a person has no place in this factory. The only place he has is outside the factory. That encouraged these women to come and say that they were employed as fitters and technicians and they are being made to work as helpers and so on. So I said, what do you want? Many various areas where they were independently working, but what was the most exciting was these 29 women of Chennai, aged 23 to 57, supervised by a lady supervisor, ladies and gentlemen. You will not see it easily anywhere, building an entire coach of heavy fabrication on their own. We addressed this more of the same business a little bit. What you see on the right bottom is the diesel electrical multiple unit we exported to China. Earlier, twice we had exported and were a matter of ridicule when our coach trains used to stand next to the Chinese in aesthetics as well as technology. But this time I went to Sri Lanka 3 years after retirement, and I learned from the horse's mouth, from Sri Lankan Railways engineers, that the product that ICF had sent to them this time actually was superior to the Chinese in aesthetics as well as technology. And in these last 5 minutes, 6 minutes, I come to the story. So what's a train set? What's a train? Any train, you know what a normal train is, but a train which is permanently coupled, 16 coaches. There is no locomotive to pull it. All the equipment is under the train. There are 2 cabs in the end. All the space above the board is for passengers and passenger amenities. It has great advantages like faster acceleration, more power, cut down of travel time, all the energy efficiencies. But why is it that we don't have it? Because this is the trend world over for 25, 30 years in this speed range of trains. And the answer is not very complimentary, interdepartmental wrangling as to now it's neither a coach nor a loco, it's a mix. So who's going to be the master of this, whether who maintain locomotives or coaches? Then there is always this import lobby with its own advantages and so on. To cut a long story short, being talked about procrastination, indecision for 30 years, 25, 30 years, but no plan to make this train except some half-hearted attempt to import. And that's when I was there at the hem, and that's why I come to this slide. So we all have this great circle of concerns, which we all must have because things don't work, but we forget that small dot where we can actually make a difference ourselves. And even Modi ji doesn't have a circle as big as the circle of concern. So ours is going to be very, very small. That's the one we forget to look at. As Chinese saying says that, what's the use of cursing darkness? Just light your own candle. शिकवा जुल्मत शब से कहीं बेहतर होता. शिकवा complaint, zulmat darkness, shab evening. शिकवा जुल्मत शब से कहीं बेहतर था कि अपने हिस्से की एक शमा जलाते जाते. This was the time for me to light this candle and also the dream and my angst. Because if this was not the time and I didn't fulfill it, it was a daydream, not a real dream. We are told that you must live our dream. I only say that you must let the dream linger. Do not let it extinguish. An opportunity will come for you to realize it. Look after your bread and butter, but let it not die. And that opportunity had come for me. So I had this platform, the fortune of a great team of staff, raring to go because they had ennui written all over the face, doing more of the same. All I had to do was channelize this energy. And the platform of this large factory, but there were doubts कि भाई आप होगे बहुत बड़े GM, but नई ट्रेन बनानी है, नई टाइप की, बहुत पावर है आपका, लेकिन मिनिस्ट्री से सैंक्शन लाना होगा. मैंने कहा बहुत आसान है सैंक्शन लाना, but I was wrong. There was skepticism. They thought I was trying to spin a yarn. I was not getting anywhere. We had reached April 17, mind you, from 2016, August. There was no sanction. Then I realized the difference between pride and vanity. Pride enhances, makes you confidence. You look at everyone happily. Vanity it doesn't make you confident, you belittle others. All I had to do was kill my vanity. And I fell at the feet of the chairman. By killing my vanity, by falling at his feet, I got this sanction. And that enhanced my pride because I got the sanction of my people to work on. Then my people said that ये 200 करोड़ खर्च होंगे अगर ट्रेन नहीं चली तो स्केपगोट कौन होगा. मैंने कहा भाई मैं रिटायर हो रहा हूँ दिसंबर 18 में. स्केपगोट बनाया है. But if the train really works for the first time, designed from concept to manufacture in India, you would be basking in that glory all your life, all your post-retirement life as well. Our doubts are traitors which make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. गिरते हैं शहसवार ही मैदान जंग में, वो तिफल क्या गिरे जो घुटने के बल चले. The days of your crawling on your feet are over. We'll be the mounted soldiers to build this train for the country which it is waiting for decades. Obviously, it will be our own. Nobody, good or bad, it will be our first step. And failures, as you know, are stepping stones to greater success. Don't worry about failures. In your first attempt, you are not going to make something world class. You should be happy if you make something which is near world class. Last doubt. So we engage consultants also where we are not good enough, because also remember this saying of the bard, there's no harm in accepting where you are not good enough. Pretending to know everything is not good. It's not shameful to say that you don't know, but engage these consultants. Don't go to manufacturers who have a stake. Go to these consultants who will help you design, with a caveat that every line you draw, every word that you write will be with our people, so that in future, if they are going to build a 200 km/h train, they won't need any external help. And the last doubt. The last doubt was such a project, and I have, I believe, only 1 or 2 minutes left, which is all right. A project of this magnitude, from concept to delivery, usually go to a large company, systematic working, it's going to take 36 months to 42 years. They said, you are going to retire in 21 months from now. And the new leader may come and say that, why have you purchased this trouble? Why not do more of the same? Who asked you to make this train? And abandon the projects, where would we be? I said, yes, that's a problem. So we will work hard, burn our midnight oil, work to everyone else's time, forget that we have any other life. And we will do what has not been done earlier. Turn out this train before I retire in calendar year 2018, which gives you 21 months. And that's why, to remind everyone that the train is going out in calendar year 2018, we'll give it a name. And the name was Train 18. After that, it was just a story of hard work, glitches, overcoming synergy, and it was finally unveiled in October of 2018, precisely 18 months after we started the work, living up to its name once again. Because as you say, fortune favors the brave. Living up to its name once again, it was put through all the essential testings, finally passed all the testing, including speed test above 180 kilometers per hour, launched by the Prime Minister himself. As Vande Bharat Express between Varanasi and Delhi, 4 years of trouble-free service, not one cancellation, not one failure except one little one. Reliability record which exceeds 6 sigma, and with 2-3 things, I'll close now. Though this was just a train, not Chandrayaan or Mangalyaan or rocket or a missile, but the love it got from the countrymen, because media had also played up the hype. I could think of only one reason, because the countrymen, travelers, non-travelers, everyone thought of this as a symbol of aspirational, resurgent India, as a baby of our own. And the gentleman in the middle picture, Prime Minister Modi, saw the merit in the train, much beyond that a train should normally command. 10 of these have been made, and ladies and gentlemen, at the speed they are going, within a year or so, it will change the very face of passenger travel in India. Thanks, organizers, for helping me. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you very much.
For helping me relive the story, because as the Bard said that the joyous soul lies in the doing. And my concluding message is 1,000, 1,000,000 such projects are possible in this country. All it needs is leadership with empathy, passion, and a sense of purpose. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please stay on stage, sir. I'm going to call upon Fred Poonawalla to please come up on stage. These are the kind of people who should never retire. India needs these kind of people forever and ever. Big round of applause, please. So Fred Poonawalla, please felicitate Sudhanshu Mani and thank him on our behalf. Thank you, Sudhanshu, sir. Thank you, Fred. Thank you.